Obviously it's going to vary from person to person, but for me, these three games have been, and still to this day, are my all-time favourite Snes games. Are there better out there? Probably, but it's all subjective, so that's why I'd like to hear your top 3 games in the comment section below. If you want to see more of these style of videos, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. It really helps me see what type of content you enjoy. And now that you've done that, sit back and relax and see if one of your favourites is in my list. Let's find out. Now, it wouldn't be a Nintendo video if there wasn't a Zelda game included. A Link to the Past is still an amazing game to play even now. There's plenty of exploring to be done, so you'll no doubt be entertained for hours playing through. And with all the remakes that we're getting, I have no doubt that if this gets the same treatment, it'll be a huge success. Lion King and Aladdin are two of the games that spring to mind immediately as soon as someone mentions the SNES or Mega Drive. Check out my top 5 Mega Drive games list to see where they place. These are absolute Disney classics, tough as nails, but still great fun to play. Which is why it came as no surprise that they got the re-release treatment for current gen systems, which included a few different ports of the games and save states for those difficult sections. The SNES is where it all began for Mario Kart, a franchise considered so good that it still gets releases for every Nintendo console to this day. We're currently at 8 Deluxe, and I haven't played one that I didn't like. The graphics on this one don't hold up as well on modern displays as other games I've mentioned, but a game you won't regret picking up, especially for multiplayer. Star Wing or Star Fox, depending on your region, is the last on the honourable mentions list, and it's included for good reason. It was absolutely unstoppable at the time of release. It was one of the console's biggest selling points. The new 3D graphic style were nothing like anything we'd seen on a home console before, and everyone that I knew just had to have it. After seeing these honourable mentions, you're probably thinking, how can some of these games not be in the top 3? And that's why I'm excited to see your lists in the comment section below. Kicking off my list in the number 3 spot, we have Zombies. Or as it's known in other regions, Zombies Ate My Neighbours. A classic 3D style shooter where you play as either Zeke or Julie. Your starting weapon of choice is a water pistol, blue if you choose Zeke and red if you choose Julie. The aim of the game is to save your 10 neighbours in each level while taking out a variation of monsters, which include zombies, aliens, ants, lumberjacks, and giant toddlers. Yeah, interesting choice that one, but also one of the toughest to beat. There's plenty of horror movie nostalgia here as well. If you're a fan of the genre, you'll no doubt be able to point a few nods to those here. At the time, this was a game you realistically needed to complete in one sitting, because while there is a password system, it doesn't work great. Sure, it'll load the level you want, but you'll have none of the items that you had when you last played, making some of the levels actually impossible to beat. Not so much of an issue now if you use save states, but at the time there was no way to get around it. With a co-op mode, it's a blast to play through with a friend as well, but you'll no doubt be fighting over who gets what weapons. And in at the number 2 spot, this was a particularly tough one because all the games in the series are great in their own way, and I know people actually prefer some of the sequels, but for me, Donkey Kong Country is still my favourite of the bunch. Get it? Bunch of bananas? Oh, never mind. At the time, I was absolutely blown away by the graphics, and the option to play as 2 different characters at the press of a button really intrigued me. There is just so much content in this 16-bit gem. Hidden rooms, secret level skips, multiple boss fights, mini-games, multiple characters to play as. There's just so much that this game does right. And with multiple save points along the way, you can take a break and start where you left off, because unlike Zombies, the save function actually works. And at the number 1 spot, it'll come as no surprise to anyone that knows me, but is none other than Super Mario World. I still remember the very first time I seen this game and was absolutely blown away. With its bright visuals and huge levels, my 6-year-old brain almost exploded. And the fact that it was a launch title still amazes me to this day. As with most Mario games, Peach has been kidnapped by Bowser, and you must traverse the islands in order to defeat him and rescue the princess. With 3 unique power-ups, your little green companion Yoshi, and 96 exits, there's plenty to keep you entertained for hours. Of course, if you like, you could speedrun the game in less than 10 minutes, but for me, it's all about 96 exits every time. Still an amazing game to pick up, even for those who don't have nostalgia-filled glasses like I have. A game that anyone who enjoys platform games should absolutely have in their collection. So, did any of your top 3 games get mentioned in my list? As I said at the start, please leave your top 3 SNES games of all time in the comment section below. And as always, happy gaming.